Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You're tuned in Oxford's 0 to 100 podcast, Oxford's #1 podcast. You're here with Bear, that's Bear, and
H. On today's podcast, we've got the one and only Mr. Swanscott, Jason Swanscott. He's one of 10 people that do what he does in the UK. And it's, considering there's 68 million people in the UK, that's a 1 in 6.8 million chance you're actually going to meet him.
try that for some statistics, isn't it?
Better odds than the lottery, wouldn't you say, Bear?
Damn.
He's a Foley artist.
Mm-hmm. And you're probably thinking, what is a Foley artist? So, I mean, stay tuned. We are going to go into what is a Foley artist, where it came from, how Jason started, where did he start from? Because you don't magically pop out and say, oh, I'll be a Foley artist. And the sorts of jobs you got into, the career, your health, your lifestyle, and all that. So just roll the intro music, I guess.
Yeah.
So, welcome, Jason. Welcome to the show.
Oh, yeah.
I appreciate you coming in.
No worries.
It's about 60 degrees in the Bahamas right now. I'm joking. We're in Aylesbury. We're in the studio. We're sweating like workers on the coal field. So, I mean, just explain to the listeners and explain to someone like myself, what is a Foley artist? Is it a person?
Yeah.
Is it a thing?
It's
What
a
is it?
person.
Okay.
It's a person. We basically recreate and reproduce simple sounds or every sound on TV programs, feature films, games,
Damn.
Xbox, PlayStation games, adverts.
Okay.
So we do basically every sound you hear.
Is done by you guys.
Yeah, I mean it's enhanced by others, but
Yeah.
we will give you the core. We will bring it to life. We'll give it the human touch, or some people like to say the organic touch.
Okay.
Because we're giving it the. So
The
what I
extra.
basically do is, it's not just punches, kick through doors.
Okay.
We do footsteps as well.
Yeah.
So I have to cover everybody's footsteps,
The whole cast.
the whole cast. So I've got about 70, 80 plus pairs of shoes, boots,
Heels.
stilettos.
Wow.
I have to go.
Imagine Jason in some stairs.
I should have bought some. So
It's like sea legs from here, mate. Need some shaving.
So I have to sound like,
That's crazy.
if it's a 3-year-old girl running across the screen in slippers, I have to get my slippers on. It could be a monster. I'll put my big boot. I
Yeah.
could be someone in the army. I could be a white anybody.
Any fictional,
I
non-fictional
have
character.
like so. I have to cover. I have to just basically look at their feet. I have to copy what they're doing. So if they're drunk, I have to pretend to walk drunk. I have to drag my foot. I have to fall over. If they've been beat up, I have to walk like you hurt. Or
So, like, what happened? So,
How
Is
did
it
you
a team?
How did you create the sound for fat people then?
I'd get you H to do that.
Shots fired again.
The second time. So, hey, listen, guys, we're not shaming. H is just on the big bone side.
It's- I've only put on 2 stones
Listen, he
since the
asked for it.
lockdown.
He asked for it. Okay, it came. So, like, fight scenes.
Yeah.
Okay, here's my question: is there just one of you guys on the set, or do you have a team underneath yourself? How does Michael Bay come in and say, right, Jason, sound man, I need you, your team. There's a 20-man fighting scene. Go.
Yeah, well, I'll get employed by productions or studios. I'm a daily artist. I'm on my own. I work on my own.
So, okay, that's amazing.
I don't advertise anywhere. It's all word of mouth. I've been doing it 24 years now.
So no social media.
Nothing.
Damn, 24 years ago, you were 4 years old. I don't even think I was born. I was liquid nut. Just hanging around.
Oh my
I
God.
can make that sound.
How?
Go on.
Wallpaper paste.
What?
Oh no, we got nothing here. We got water and we got Snapple.
That's
As a
it's a
cake.
bit thin.
He is thin.
No, he's not.
Fuck's sake. Another one. He's waiting for the hat trick. Fat jokes coming through.
FLM. So let's get back to the so you get hired by
Yeah,
so,
but that's yeah.
so the Foley artist, right? Is that something? Is it recent? Is it new? When did it all start? Who created it? Who came with it?
Some American fella called Jack Foley.
So it's named after
Jack Donovan
okay.
Foley, actually, 1891 on the 12th of April.
Oh,
he
you
was
got it all
born.
there. He knows more than me.
He died in 1967 on the 9th of November.
So he was as we would like to say, the trendsetter for
Foley.
what you're doing right now.
Yeah, yeah,
Amazing.
yeah. So hence that's why it's named after
Yeah.
him.
And you guys use pretty much anything on planet Earth.
anything. I can make most things make a noise.
Well, remember that time when I met you when we briefly touched upon the sound of a murder, and I think you mentioned something about a watermelon.
Yeah, watermelon's good for stabbing or
Yeah.
slashing.
Well, I'm never gonna look at a watermelon the same
I
way.
just
Like when
enjoy
I'm at
eating
home, I'm just gonna be
watermelons.
there like,
Yeah.
someone's gonna be, what's happening there? Is someone getting killed? But no, I'm just eating watermelon, mate.
Yeah, that's what it'll be. I should have some photos somewhere I could show you. Like a murder scene. In the
Amazing.
studio, looks like a murder scene.
Yeah.
Because I've got knives out, axes, watermelon's obviously red.
Yeah.
That looks like claret as well, and guts
Yeah.
and spill everywhere. Then you've got your celery, anything juicy, cabbage. Mate, as long as I can make the listeners, the fella sitting behind me recording, the Foley mixer,
Yeah.
if I can make him wince when he hears what I've done through his headphones while he's watching the picture, then it's worked.
So just let the audience know. So when you get a job given, so let's say for example you came in Wonder Woman, and there are plenty of scenes like where she's taking the sword out or she's swiping the enemy and stuff like that. Talk us through how that would be done.
There was 2 or 3 of us on that one because it's a big film,
Right?
big budget film. You can normally get a bit
Yeah,
more
a bit
money.
of cheddar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Queen Elizabeth and all that.
Yeah,
You can normally get 2 or 3 artists on that, and there was a couple of us on that.
People you know, or people
yeah.
So you got your own team?
No, these are freelance. No, the guys I worked on that were actually working in house at Shepperton Studios, and I was employed as a freelancer.
Okay.
To go in there. So yeah, on something like a fight scene, you would do like the moves track, like I said. So I'd put on like a big leather cape and some buckles.
Yeah.
So as they're fighting, I'm giving it the weight,
Got it.
and then the fellas I'm working with will pull out the swords out of sheaths. You know, we'll whack the swords together. We'll ching them. The fella behind is recording it. He's probably got 5 or 6 mics on us.
Wow.
He's mixing it at the same time we're doing it.
Yeah.
You know, so he's bringing it in from afar. He's got an ambient mic at the back.
Yeah.
So as we're walking down a corridor.
Yeah.
We've got the studio's got about 20 different surfaces in it.
Yeah.
So you've got lino, parquet, dirt, concrete,
Sand,
tarmac,
everything. Yeah.
So whatever they're walking on the screen, we have to emulate. We walk on the surface they're on. So if they're walking down a corridor, the mixer behind you will have you on the ambient mic, and as the character gets closer to the screen, he'll bring you in on the closer mic back out.
Could you just do that on the mic right now? Can you go in?
Well, yeah,
and go
because
out?
I'll be walking in like this.
Yeah.
And I'll come walking up to the screen. And
It looks so much better.
But it don't actually go do. That's
Well, listen, all right, I'm a dummy on this thing, so I just wanted to add the little footsteps. I mean, this is footsteps, not mine.
Yeah, this is
You
Foley
tried.
Artist Lessons for Dummies.
Coming soon. So where did this you didn't wake up one day and say, "Oh, I just want to be a Foley artist."
No.
Like, what was this? How did it start off? What was family life like? And
the thing is, with most TV feature films, anything to do with any of that production, whether you're shooting it, whether you're set building, even stuff like catering, sound, which is what I am, you will normally know somebody in the business.
Okay.
So you get in that way. Like my dad was in the business.
Oh, so this is a family. This started with your pops. Okay.
Yeah. My brothers were in it. I got uncles, cousins, aunts, in one form or another in sound. It's a production.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So I got in it that way.
Right. At what age?
I'm gonna say 22, 23.
So what was you doing before the whole sound and seeing your uncles, your dad, your cousins, and aunties doing their thing?
I was a plumber.
Spud.
2 plumbers in the room.
No,
See-
one. I'm not a plumber anymore.
Oh,
Ex plumber.
ex-plumber.
Ex plumber.
Yeah, no, I was a plumber. I lived in South London.
Okay.
Like I say, my dad used to be in the business. So
Yeah.
when he went to work when I was a kid,
Yeah.
I used to go work with him.
Okay.
And he was a Foley artist for a couple of years.
Yeah.
He was a mixer before, so he would record me. So I used to go work with him,
Mhm.
and I used to do bits and pieces. I used to do the odd feet, do the odd car smash,
Yeah.
cut down below. And that's how I kind of knew about it. So when I was done with plumbing after 4 years, my dad said to me, "Look, there's a little gap, a tiny gap in the Foley world. Come and give it a go."
Just give it a shot. Why not?
And that was 24 years ago, and I ain't stopped.
That's crazy. Since then,
Yeah.
it's just been movie.
Yeah.
Movie after movie after movie.
After TV program, after advert, after game,
Jesus.
it's just
What's the biggest advert you've done?
advert.
Yeah.
I did a really cool one, really good one, literally 2 weeks ago for IKEA.
IKEA.
I hate going to IKEA, but I do like the adverts.
No, don't say that.
No, but they're ideal.
Edit.
No man,
that.
listen. No man likes to go to IKEA. Okay, we can all say that right here. No one likes to go furniture shopping, right? But the adverts bang.
Yeah.
The adverts do bang.
But this is a good one. It's
Coca-Cola?
basically,
Coca-Cola.
I've done a Pepsi one.
I want to hear the IKEA one before we get into that one.
The IKEA one was like a plastic. It was about recycling, about IKEA being green.
Okay.
And it was basically all animation. So this plastic bottle falls over, rolls down a road. All these other bottles are following him. They're all go into a big cloud of, and it was obviously completely dead. Nothing.
Yeah.
It's just all animation.
Yeah.
So there's not a single sound on it. And they give it to you and go, go.
Okay.
Use what you know. Use what you think is going to sound good, and do the noises on that.
And they're just happy with that.
It took me about. It was a 25-second advert. Took me about 3 hours to do, 3 or 4 hours to do.
And that's light work.
That's light work. And then I'll give it to an editor.
Yeah.
He will edit it. He will pull everything into the frame.
Yeah.
So bang on. Because I can't be bang on all the time.
Yeah, of course.
I'm pretty good with mixing, but to be bang on is impossible every time.
Yeah.
So the editor will edit it, fit it, and he played it back to me. And that's going to be watched by, I don't know, you tell me. Millions.
Yeah.
I don't care about it because it's going to be in the middle of Champions League or it's going to be an advert.
It's going to be on YouTube.
And they have no idea the guy that made that sound is sitting in this room.
Yeah, it's just two blokes. There's a bloke recording me behind.
Yeah.
Me sitting in there, surrounded by plastic bottles, in a room not much bigger than it. Well, it's probably, not much bigger than this, say.
I'm just fascinated by the way. That's just, oh man, that's like crazy talent, man.
It's just, like 1 in 10, as I said earlier, like, you know, you could tell someone's a plumber or they're in construction by you see someone in a high vis walking down the street. But, you know, everyone's just walking by you and you cannot tell, like, there's no identity kind of put to you.
Because there's no social media. Like, why the no social media?
I mean, a lot of them do.
Yeah.
A lot of them do. I think I was saying to my wife Charlotte the other day about it, and she's trying to get me to do it more.
Yeah.
Because that's the way forward. But recently, I've not had the time to do it. But now, with the lockdown, I met you. I've got a little bit of time now.
Yeah.
You know, this could go on all different platforms now. There's lots of people who want to see
Spotify,
this.
Apple, YouTube.
Oh, they all want to see it. Yeah.
Instagram, Facebook, anything, everything.
Yeah.
TikTok.
Yeah.
So for the last 24 years?
24 years.
Yeah, 23. You've not used social media to get the jobs.
Never.
That even actors have to have social media to get the jobs.
Never.
That's incredible.
No.
Do you know how crazy that sounds? Do you know, like, we sit in this room day in, day out, and we'll be like, we need social media. I need Instagram. I need Snapchat. I need TikTok. Like, we need this to push the podcast to where it is. And I've got my man sat here like, man, I'm just cashing in checks without even anyone knowing
the fact
who I
that
am.
you've been able to do that without, imagine what you could do with a proper platform.
That's what we're saying.
You could push so far out there. Like, imagine if you wanted, like, you touched when you wanted to make a studio. Now, imagine if you wanted to teach people, from scratch how to do this in the sound department.
That would be it.
You could have your own digital, steps, monetize from it, put sponsored ads. That's just amazing. Like, you have a lot of value, and it's undermined and underestimated.
It's probably because I don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
That don't it. I mean, I've got 3 kids.
Yeah.
I said they're not kids anymore. They're 22, 20, and 14. They far outdo me on anything technical.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Just hire them.
Well, I could do.
Tyler.
But a lot of them do it.
Yeah.
But what we have to be careful of is we can't. A few of them have got in trouble by working on something, say, like Doctor Who.
Right, the really quiet stuff.
Yeah, they will go like, "Oh, this is me today on Doctor Who." Look, and they'll take a photo.
Yeah.
And behind them on the screen will be what they're working on. And you can't slap that straight across social media.
That's why you've kind of not, because like working on these Superman and Batman movies.
I can talk about them now because they've been out.
Yeah, but beforehand, like, you showed us something earlier that we can't say anything about, and
Yeah.
you've just recently done it.
Yeah.
That's the reason, right? That I can 100% agree with you why you wouldn't use social media, because it's good, but it also can put you in a position where they look at it and think, great, here we go. Now we've got footage that's been leaked because we've got someone who's just decided to go something but forgot, because people out there literally, like, we could show clips and people would like find out the little camera angles and fanboys and fangirls will know, oh, he's been there.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see why social media is not being used.
Well, see, the thing- 'cause-
Speaking of social media, and this is a bit random. I was on your Twitter the other day, and I read one of your tweets. The fact that Noel Gallagher had the audacity to tell you your job was a piece of piss.
Yeah.
Like, imagine just walking in there. And
Well,
that kind of annoyed me. Because,
Well, no, it annoyed me because he was actually all right. He was quite a nice fella. He
Yeah.
had nothing to do with the job.
Yeah.
He was looking for a studio
Yeah.
to record a new album. And he happened to walk into the Foley studio where I was working. It was all booked in and he come in. And he basically said, what are you doing? I said, well, I'm a
Classic Noel.
I'm a Foley artist. And he was like, job looks a piece of piss.
Yeah.
And I said to him, well, I'll swap your jobs if you want, but we have to swap bank accounts.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because what a lot of people do,
Yeah.
they think you just fuck about all the
Yeah.
time, which effectively I do.
Yeah, at least you have fun.
I have fun. all
Yeah,
day.
but the thing is, you're not fucking about for fucking about. You're
Yeah, but
actually
people
fucking
don't-
about and working. It's like
Yeah, but people don't take it seriously.
it's like a dream
They
job.
do not. Loads of people say that, but like thousands, I've got mates like they all take the piss. It's
Yeah,
fine. They're all
yeah.
builders. They're all
Yeah.
lads.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
banter.
You know what I mean? And they take the piss, but it's just it's an underrated job.
Yeah.
But you know, nobody knows it exists. People just think I walk
I
on.
don't
the
know.
No, people just think we walk on the spot for fun, and we do have a laugh. Like that video I showed you earlier.
Yeah, that was
I
awesome.
showed my son it.
Yeah.
Who's a copper.
Yeah.
And he knows what I do as a job. He's done it for 20 years.
Yeah.
You know? And we have a laugh. He's come and work with me. And I
Yeah.
showed him this video. And he turned around to me and said, you know what? He said, you're actually more professional than I thought you were.
Yeah.
And I was
After
like,
how many years?
23. I was like, oh, nice one, Ben.
Yeah.
Cheers, son.
Fucking hell.
Well done.
He said, that actually looks really good. That's really professional.
No, but it's incredible with what you're using to make these sounds when people are paying thousands of pounds to use things to make it sound like what you're doing with just your daily
Yeah.
5 a day.
Yeah. Well, you think
Yeah.
they'll spend millions on CGI,
Yeah.
right? And that will come into us with not a sound on it.
It'll just be mimed.
Yeah,
Like, yeah.
Of course, it's a computer
yeah.
graphic, isn't it? So it's got nothing on it.
Mm.
So we have to make, along with other people, sound
Yeah.
designers who, you know,
Yeah.
they're just as important as us. There are other fellas who sit there with their, you know, sound effects libraries and they'll put the whizzes, bangs on.
Yeah.
We give it the little touches, just the tiny stuff, what brings it to life, what they can't put on.
So like you know when you're watching horror movies and they do the little tap on the glass.
Yeah.
That would be you
That would
guys.
be us all day long.
So what is it? Because I saw someone doing a prank, but they used pasta to emulate the sound of breaking a nose. Like they crunched into it.
Oh, when they do the Heimlich move and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
that.
you can do stuff like, I will normally use stuff like celery.
To break nose.
Yeah, if you're going to break a nose, you use a bit of celery or a cabbage. You use white cabbage because you can rip that.
Every
off. It
time
sounds
I
like-
eat into celery now, I'm just going to sounds like.
Oh, it sounds like a broken nose. If
That's
there's a
crazy.
punch, obviously they don't punch each other.
Yeah.
You know, I've done stuff like kick-ass, snatch, lock, stock.
Oh, kick-ass, yeah.
Lock, stock, smoke and barrels.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
that.
Covered in fight scenes.
Yeah.
Not
Jason Bourne. That was
Jason
one of
Bourne,
them you done.
Yeah.
So like when you're doing these fight scenes, is it more harder to emulate the sounds in fight scenes than they are when it's someone walking down the dark alley and you're hearing a crack pop and whiz and all that?
No, because if it's one person,
Yeah.
it has to be crystal clear, doesn't it? It has to be a nice sound. Whoever's putting the sound, whether it's us or the sound designer, whether it has to be a lovely sound,
Yeah.
nice and quick. The fight scenes, they basically,
Messy.
I'll go in front of a mic and just go Tasmanian Devil for like 5 minutes and just smash whatever's up in front of me.
That's crazy.
And then stand back.
I've
stand
not
back.
watched
Stop
Tasmanian
that.
Devil in years.
Do you know what I mean? I just,
I'm there as a plumber. Smacking spanners against bathtubs and fitting in
Yeah.
cat flap type holes just to fix a leak on a bath. And my man's over there just wrecking the place, like Wreck-It Ralph.
It's like just going crazy, like fully.
but the thing is, like, you know, I like to think I'm quite humble. You know,
Yeah.
people say, oh man, your job is the best ever. Blah, blah.
Yeah.
And it's like, nah, we're all good at something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's a good plumber. If there weren't plumbers, I wouldn't be able to take a dump, would I?
No.
Yeah,
I
true.
wouldn't be able to have a
So.
bath, would I?
He just said he'll shit on me. He's technically just shitted on me. Okay, I'll take it.
So everybody's good.
take it.
Everybody's input. Everyone's
Yeah.
got and you look at just what's happened in the last 6 months.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you got these nurses and that out there
Mm.
saving lives.
Yeah.
I just put sounds on TV and film. I'm not saving the world. I enjoy it, and people enjoy what I do as a job, but I'm not saving
That's
the
a very
world.
humble way
No,
of looking at
see,
things.
that is very humble. But
respect
at the
that.
end of the day, like when you do watch movies, no one gives a thought to what you do.
No.
And that's why, like, now that you've mentioned, when I watched the video and you've talked about every little step of what you do, there's a whole new appreciation for what people do in
Yeah, there
your
will
industry.
be. Yeah, which is good.
And like now I can sit here and be like, do you know what? If it wasn't for you, that movie would not sound as if it's got extra emotion. The fight scenes would just sound flat. It wouldn't sound like an extra.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's not a punching sound. What the fuck was that?
That sounded like you followed through. I mean, coming back to when you met the most fantastic happy man on the planet, Noel Gallagher, right?
Yeah.
And you said about exchanging bank accounts. They've literally said here on Google, and I did research a little bit last night, that they don't know how much a Foley artist makes.
No.
It's not registered. It's not something that I can say, oh, how much does a Foley artist make? There's like, I mean, I read something here and it literally says, but according to Motion Pictures Editor Guild, the guaranteed wage for a guild member Foley artist is something like $2,000 per week.
Yeah.
Or 340 per day, so that's like 42 per hour.
No, but I think sometimes it's like being on construction. Sometimes you get price work, don't you, or something like that.
I've never earned that sort of money.
He's earned more.
Yeah. Yeah! Look at him.
No, I haven't.
No, see, anyone just saw the camera just there. He was like, "I've never earned that money, no."
I wouldn't even get out of bed for that.
No, I don't.
I don't think you would. I don't think you'd get out of bed for $2,000 knowing the stuff that you
believe
can do.
Believe it or not, we're not. We're all right paid. Don't think we're because it's a film business.
Yeah.
No, but you must be getting paid a decent living wage
they
to live your life the way it is.
Yeah, but
it's a lot of salary to go through, buddy.
I know.
Salary's not cheap.
But the thing is, the last 4 months,
Yeah.
I ain't worked. I've done little days here and there. No fuckers paid me. I'm
We
freelance.
should have hired him.
I don't get paid. I don't get paid, do I? So
Yeah.
my £1,000.
That's the risk.
My £1,000 I earned 1 week in January.
Yeah.
That works out about 30 quid a day now. If I don't work for 3 months,
Yeah, true say.
you work. I can have good months where you're coining it in.
Yeah.
You've got to do the hours, but that you don't earn that money. You don't earn £2,000. You know.
No, that's just a guess that someone.
That's American as well. Now,
Yeah,
the Americans earn more than us anyway.
Yeah.
Why is that then?
They're just more respected.
Yeah.
No idea why. I have no idea why the respect has gone. I don't know. Maybe because people see us muck about. They see me going in there, being like I am now. Maybe that's why I get employed for the last 23
I think
years.
great.
So,
Our equipment.
I just wanted to ask a question. What's one of the most exciting celebrities you've seen on set whilst working?
Yeah, the question is, are you on set or did they shove you in a box
Or
like a
have
little
you-
kid?
Yeah, no, we're in a box.
Okay.
We're in a studio.
Okay.
So if I go to Shepperton,
Yeah.
Yeah.
they have their own sound, like
Foley studio,
Yeah.
right?
or Pinewood or L Street.
Mm.
But you still see all the actors walking about.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
they're shooting their films.
Yeah.
You'll see. I've seen loads.
But that's exciting, though. Like it's
Yeah,
not
who
like
have you
know,
seen though?
like you know.
all of them. Just walking about. If it, like I say, I was at Shepperton last year or a couple of years ago, and I was having lunch. I took my son Ben with me.
Yeah.
And we were sitting there eating lunch on a bench on a bit of grass, and this fella walked past, and he went, "Afternoon, guys. I hope you're enjoying your lunch." And my son went to me, "Was that Tom Cruise?"
Oh shit!
I said, "Yeah," because he was directing The Mummy in the theatre over there, the big shooting stage. He just walked past like he
That's
was walking.
crazy.
Hi guys, enjoy your lunch. Hi mate. Oh, I've seen I don't know, all of them. Brad.
Did you ever go to him? You know when you done that punch, you actually sounded like a woman, but I made you sound like a man. I went. You punch like a woman, but
What, you really think Jason's gonna say that? He's gonna say Tom Cruise. You punch like a.
you punch
You
like a-
sound like you punch like a woman, but I'm not trying to big myself up.
Some women can punch quite hard though.
Yeah,
Just getting that in there.
depends. Ronda Rousey. Well, here's 10 movies which I saw that you've been in, or
Worked on, not been in.
Yeah, worked on, and I thought because these are ones which I have enjoyed watching. Top Boy, starring Ashley Walters.
Mm-hmm.
That was in 2011. Jason Bourne, 2016. That was with Matt Damon and Riz Ahmed. Mission Impossible, Rogue Nation. That's the Tom Cruise one right there.
Mm-hmm.
Hercules,
The Rock.
The Rock Johnson. If you smell. I always wanted to say that, but I guess it doesn't sound that good. It sounded better in my head. Sorry about that for anybody listening. I apologise. I think you mentioned Harry Potter.
No, I didn't do Harry Potter.
Oh no, you're not.
No.
Sorry, that's just me making shit up.
Lord of the Rings.
No.
Wonder Woman. That was 2016, 2017.
Yeah. Huh?
The Borrowers. That's
Gangster movie.
1997. That's old school.
That was probably
That's an
that'll be in
exciting
my
one.
that'll be in my top 10 of films
That's
to
my
work on.
childhood memory.
I've got a
right
question.
There. And also, what's that Unknown with Liam Neeson? That's got to be an exciting one because I always remember him for I Will Find You.
Yeah, that's right. I think it was a sequel to one. It was a sequel to Taken, wasn't it? Or
Yeah,
something like
the
that. It wasn't
Unknown.
quite very
Yeah, we won't mention anything.
good. Yeah, so it flopped a little
I
bit.
mean,
Poop.
I'm pretty sure anybody that's listening now, all of them which I've mentioned, everyone's definitely familiar with them.
Do you think, personally, from like doing this for 24 years, that the old school movies and the new school movies, there's a difference in the Foley industry?
Yeah, because it's not so much the way it's shot; it's the schedules you get now. The
Everything's
schedules
like-
were far better
Alright.
years ago. There always used to be two artists in a room.
Gotcha.
There'd normally be a bloke and a woman.
Yeah.
There'd be your two artists. In someone's wisdom, a few years ago, they decided to cut half that wage bill and get rid of one artist. So now there's one artist trying to do the work of two people
Yeah.
in the same time, and it's virtually impossible.
Because like,
So then your work takes a hit. The
ah,
standard
Yeah.
of your work takes a hit because all they
Sort of.
they want it done by Friday. Okay, I can get it done by Friday. It won't sound as good as if you give me another couple of days on it, but
yeah.
Yeah.
it's scheduling really. There's so much of it, so much TV about all these platforms now, Netflix, Sky, Apple,
Yeah.
all that. They just want to churn out the telly, 100 mile an hour. Just want to keep churning it out.
What's like your top 3 movies that you've enjoyed personally?
What work to work on?
Yeah,
Yeah.
to work on.
Whether it's old or new, because I could tell that the new ones were
yeah.
probably going to be a bit different because half of them are CGI.
Yeah.
They wouldn't make Borrowers the way they made them back in the
the
ni-
90s.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
way.
No.
Like
Well,
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
So
The Borrowers is one because
Yeah.
that was like
that's number 1.
it was brilliant because it was just every noise you could recreate, and we had to try and make it sound small, or we had to try and make
Yeah.
it sound big because they're in a big world.
yeah.
So we had to make it sound big, and that was good fun. That was hard work. Sherlock Holmes, Game of Shadows, I've done.
The one with
Robert
Iron
Downey
Man.
Jr.
yeah.
That was a
Because there was a
classic
lot
film.
of pots, whistles.
Brilliant film. The big fight scenes with the Russians
That was a good one.
doing fighting the Cossacks up the top on it. That was a good film. Hard work. I think for nostalgia,
Mm.
I think I've got to say Snatch.
Mm.
Oh, Snatch.
Everybody knows
Yeah.
Snatch.
Yeah,
Everybody-
of course.
If you say
Tyrone Gaze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but people still use them saying now, don't they?
Yeah.
If my kids text me,
Yeah.
Dad, can so and so come home for tea tonight? I'll just text back, of course, Tyrone,
Of course,
because people still use that phrase.
Yeah.
Most nostalgic thing you
Yeah.
can ever do.
I-
Getaway driver.
Yeah, I love all that. All them fight scenes in that. The Gorgeous George fight scene with
Yeah.
Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
I had a whole day. On that film.
Wait, so what would you use for like a punch effect?
Well, if it's a clean punch on the jaw,
Yeah.
you would probably just use your own skin, your own punch.
Okay, yeah. And
So
if
you
you were to break their jaw or break their nose, should I say?
Noses, we would use stuff like we'd use fruit and veg. We'd use
Celery.
celery.
We've got some celery here if you
Where?
want.
Yeah, speaking
Just
celery. you
next to you,
some
we've got some
right
celery
next
just
to
next to you. Just, I don't
You
know.
ain't.
Yeah, we have. It's a gift.
It's
We're cheap. We'll have celery and peanut butter later on. So, all right. So you're in a scene right now.
Yeah.
Michael Bay's giving you a scene where Optimus Prime's punching
Optimus
Megatron,
Prime.
right? Listen. I'm old school. Hasbro, shout at me. Yeah. Okay, let's just go with a scene. Most nostalgic movie you've done, yeah? Lock, Stock, right? So there's that scene where they're having a fight.
Yeah.
You could have said Rocky. But go on.
No, I didn't do Rocky.
Oh.
You're shouting at me.
Sorry.
Some research you've done, buddy. Right. You've gone in for the nose. How would that sound on the microphone?
Well, bearing in mind, I'm not disrespecting your microphones,
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
but we have, some of the mics we use at work are £5,000, £6,000, £7,000 microphones.
Oh,
so
shit.
Okay, flex on us.
Well,
Subtle
you know what
flex.
I mean?
I like
So-
it.
Put
I
that close to
respect
the
that.
mic then.
They'll pick it up. They'll pick all your
Yeah.
ambient sounds up. They'll pick everything up. Do you know what I mean? They'll pick the tiniest macro noise up. They'll pick up that noise, but I can't even hear it on that mic.
Yeah.
No, you're
That
right.
would sound. I could use that for veins popping and stuff
Oof.
like that. But if you were still going to do like a broken nose headbutt, would be
Yeah.
a good one.
You just stick it right next to that mic.
Yeah. So what I'd do for
Yeah.
a headbutt, I'd put my leg on like a hollow surface, like the wood
Yeah.
surface.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So I've got my leg like that. I'll put my hand, I'll punch my hand, punch it,
yeah.
so it goes through your leg, through the hollow wood, so you get. Boom, boom.
That's
I'm getting
nuts.
that.
That's
I'm getting the top noise of that.
Yeah,
But also, I'll put a mic down there, so it's going through the leg, so you're getting boom, boom, off the hollow.
yeah,
So, boom, boom. Okay. So
He's got a right punch in him, hasn't he?
Yeah.
yeah. Watch
Oh,
out.
Charlotte.
Yeah.
Charlotte's the wife. Hi, Charlotte. We don't condone violence, especially on women.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
So
Let's
that'd
go
be,
for it.
that'd be
Yeah.
a basis.
I want to
And
hear
then
this.
for a bit of detail, if the nose goes,
Yeah.
celery's probably the best. Because at the same time, you just.
Oh! I heard that! Oh, shit!
That sounded
That
painful.
sounded naughty.
Rest in peace, celery.
Yeah.
Rest-
So, and then you could use it for. What else would
Jesus.
you use it for? If someone's hanging, right, you know, and
Oh, like in 21
As
Slaves,
soon,
the
as soon
movie.
as you made
Oh.
that celery sound, the only person's nose I pictured was Owen Wilson. 'Cause he's got a crooked nose,
yeah,
hasn't
he's
he?
got a crooked nose.
Yeah, I was like,
With all the money in the world, he still hasn't fixed it.
I would have to use quite a bit of celery to break that bad boy.
But you won't be breaking it though, would you? You put it back in position.
Yeah, I would be. or what you could do with this sort of stuff, you could, you know, I've done
So
something the other
you were
day.
saying the hanging thing. How would
Yeah,
you?
if someone's hanging, okay, so they're just
Oh,
hanging
this
there
is grim.
creaking. I haven't got a bit of leather on me, but you know, I'll just creak leather for the rope noise. So that's going.
Yeah.
And then it goes to close up, and I don't know, got a bit of blood coming out of their mouth, or they want it sound
Yeah.
gory. So you just slowly.
Oh, yo.
That sort of noise, and it just makes it
Fuck, man.
that is
just goes
nuts.
just goes a bit ouchy. Just makes it go a bit
If
That
I was your
is
mixer,
gory,
I will punch you myself for making that noise.
Yeah.
I would be going home like not looking at celery
That
the
is
same
scary,
way ever.
like.
Yeah, well, I done one literally done one last week where the fella he pulled his tooth out.
Oh, no.
He turned into a zombie. We do quite a lot of zombie films.
Yeah.
That's when you have fun when you're doing zombie films.
Yeah.
Because you just go hell for leather on just whatever. And he's turned into a zombie and his teeth are falling out, so he's picked his tooth out.
Yeah.
So I just put a bit of celery in my mouth at the same sort of time because I've got to be a bit verbal with it as well.
Yeah.
So he's going, and he's pulling his teeth out, but you're just crunching it on your own teeth. I hate celery and all.
I'm out. This is too much for me. I mean, this is just grim, but sick at the same time.
Yeah,
This man,
And
I
that's
thought
just,
celery was just to eat. This man's changed the celery game completely.
no, but sometimes they'll make you use raw meat. You know, if they want it to sound
Like a proper like human
Yeah.
body type.
not so much human body, but you'll get
Oh.
like a side of a pig.
We can make that happen. His dad owns a butcher's.
Yeah.
Yeah, or they'll bring in.
I'll bring some lamb.
I did Animal Farm years ago. That George Orwell one, ages and ages ago. And to do the pigs, I normally use like coconut shells or little bobbins from reels, little plastic bobbins.
Yeah.
For hooves. They bought me in pigs' trotters.
Oh.
They got from a butcher's. I was like, well, what do you want me to do with them?
Could
Yeah,
be.
like, well, do the pig. I said, I'm not fucking using pig trotters. I don't need
Yeah.
to use pig. Like I said, we will very rarely use what is actually happening on the screen.
Yeah.
That's why we have to be so imaginative with it all.
That's
We have to use
crazy.
our imagine-
Yeah.
And I used my bobbins on my coconut shells, and they sounded brilliant. Because the trotters didn't sound like anything.
No.
Because they're not anything. That's
No.
why we have to make the noise. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's because they're too dense. They
They're,
don't
they're,
really.
they're soft.
Yeah.
It's just soft.
And trotters don't really make that noise when a pig's on a farm because they're in mud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like,
So what we do is we build a mud pit
yeah,
and we make them sound muddy. That's what we do as a job. We bring it to life because that, like a horse, you wouldn't ever hear a horse really.
no,
That's why we get our coconut shells out, you know, and sprint them across grass or gravel.
Sorry,
What's she
that's-
doing?
I
I
don't
was trying to make horse sounds. That's shit. Jason's looking at me like, what the fuck?
She started going. Yeah, you like that?
It's another language.
Swahili.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's the sort of the fighting bit's done.
Yeah.
You know, but you can go on and on with it. Depends how. I mean, one of the good ones I did a film a few years ago called The Cottage. Andy Serkis was the director on it, and he came in and watched us.
He's the guy who plays Gollum, right? Isn't it?
Yeah.
He's wicked.
He's an
Like,
awesome-
no, but he's done
Does all the gorillas, doesn't he?
he's done Planet of the Apes. He's done Gollum. He even did Godzilla. He's the guy
He's
you
the
call
monkey-
in.
He's the monkey man, isn't he?
He's the guy you call in when you need like an animal done, and he's incredible when he does his work. He's amazing. I've got to give him that's more. And I don't think he gets enough credit.
A lot of people don't like him. 'Cause you
Why
can
is
see-
that?
I don't know because
Is his face?
yeah,
He just
Yeah.
looks like a prick.
Yeah.
I haven't seen what
Okay.
he looks like. What does he look like? Do you know, I'm gonna quickly check on the laptop.
Well, he was directing a film. He turned his hand to direction.
Okay.
Directing. They did a film called The Cottage. And there was one scene where this big monster, whatever he was, grabbed hold of a bloke's head, back
Yeah.
of his head,
Yeah.
ripped his head off, and his spine come out at the same time. And
So
then
you
he
got to
stood
make
there.
that dangly noise
We
as
had to
well.
make. We had to make that whole noise.
How'd you spell his name?
Andy.
Oh yeah, Andy. What's the second name? So I meant what was his name? How do you spell it?
I think it's like something like SK.
S-E-R-K-I-S, I think.
SER.
K-I-S.
Circus.
Yeah. He's an ugly guy.
It says he's an actor.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, well, he started off
Massive.
as being an actor, buddy.
Oh yeah, I've seen him. I just didn't recognise him.
He also came in King Kong, didn't he?
I think he's done all of them.
Yeah.
I did Tarzan a few years ago, and I think he was doing all the gorillas on Tarzan as well.
Yeah, he was also in Black Panther.
I didn't
Yeah.
see that.
Good movie. We talked about that
Yeah,
yesterday.
you're right. He does look fucking weird.
He just looks like someone that you just wouldn't say hello.
I met him a couple of times. He was all right.
Yeah.
He was quite a nice fellow, actually. Yeah, he was all right.
Crazy.
You don't
yeah.
get to talk to them like mates. You know what I mean? They're
Yeah.
not like
Yeah.
sit and have a beer with them. But
No.
you say hello and just change, niceties. And he was
Yeah.
all right. A lot of them ain't. But he was quite a nice fella.
Go on,
Well,
talk
at
about,
least
talk
he
about your
didn't-
worst experience with someone. What was the worst experience you had? Work-wise, as well as working with, I don't know, like a production with an actor.
Well, we don't really work with the actors. We see the actors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was doing I think I was doing a Saint years ago, and Val Kilmer was sort of outside the
Mhm.
studio on his
Mhm.
phone. He was playing the Saint, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So he's obviously coming in for some voiceovers, for some ADR, which
Yeah,
they replaced their voice. And he was laying outside on the settee with his phone dangling over his ear like this, sort of talking to whoever.
Yeah.
And we're trying to do his film inside,
Yeah.
and look, you can hear his voice like, talking on his
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I went outside. I said, can you move?
Yeah.
And he just sort of looked at me and went,
Who are you?
and just carried on talking on his phone. I thought,
Damn, that's some ignorant shit.
so
right
we
there.
had to stop. We had to stop doing what we were doing
to wait for him to finish his
while
phone
he
call.
made his phone call to his wife or his girlfriend. We were just like,
You just start making noises in the background, like, pretending that he's cheating on his missus. I know you'd make a good few sounds, wouldn't you?
I've done them sounds as well.
Is that I guess that's the weirdest thing in your job, isn't it? Like making those kind of like sexual noises.
No, because it makes people laugh, and I can get quite
Yeah,
graphic.
but
Go on,
we're
I wanna
British,
hear
though, aren't
this,
we?
I want to
We're-
hear this.
I mean, the British, ourselves, we just find everything funny. But like, let's say you're in a room with some Americans, they must think it's like the weirdest thing.
Oh, they will do. Yeah, they will do.
I want to hear this. What's your?
One,
I want to hear you make some sounds.
what some like sex sounds?
Yeah, go on.
What are you, 5?
I don't know. It's just you're gonna.
All right,
know,
yeah, you
it's
know what?
just-
We're probably never gonna see each other again. One like me and you.
Oh me? What?
After this, because your fantasy coming true. Jason to make sex noises.
It's just funny.
You know he's right. Why not? Let's just shoot for it. It is 0 to
Go on.
100 podcast at the end of the day.
Well, I don't know if you were doing. I don't know, but
James Bond. Yeah, there's quite a lot.
No, see, you wouldn't do it on James Bond.
No.
No. What they're doing? They're kissing, aren't they? They're not actually
Yeah.
making love or shagging, are they? They're just
Yeah.
kissing. You see a bit of
True.
skin.
Yeah.
So I will be going like. I'll be doing the kissing.
Why do I feel like such a kid? I'm so sorry.
And a bit of rubbing. So he's sort of rubbing her shoulder, getting all sexy, and it's me like.
What? Just slapping your stomach?
Very thought you were going to get naked.
But if you were doing like I don't know, say an English indie film, which they wanted it to sound a bit more gritty,
Yeah.
then you'd start doing, if they're like shagging rather than
Yeah.
making lovely loving.
Yeah.
You'd start giving it all that on your leg. As he's then you'd rock the bed and you'd shake the bed, and then if he goes down on her, you'd probably pick up an orange or something and then start plating the
Look
orange.
into the camera. When
Where
you
did you get the orange from? I didn't get you the orange.
He always carries the orange on him
Just
when
carry
he wants to
oranges.
make
Is that a Foley thing?
Just in case someone wants to hear oral sex, I'll carry an orange about it.
Okay, H wants to hear it. So could you please make the oral noise, please? Thank you.
Hold on.
Much
He's got
appreciated.
Peter, mate. He's got to undress and caress that orange.
Sorry,
I'm
sorry,
Peter.
Mum. This is all his fault.
This is 50 Shades of Orange.
I can't really do it because I'm peeing. But what you do,
Yeah.
You
Oh no,
get
you got to
into
use
the
the mic.
mic,
You got
into the
that
mic.
is that.
I don't want the
Like-
oral sex. That's me just getting it ready.
Oh, me.
Oh shit!
That's savage. If that was all.
She is grating on that knob.
That's the pre-cum.
So this is like you would
That's
just
some-
go. If it was a bloke and a woman,
Yeah.
right, I'd be doing something like this.
That's so fun.
I wouldn't eat it. That's just come off.
He just spits it. Doesn't swallow.
Or if it was a bloke, the woman on the bloke, you probably couldn't use the orange, but you get a bit of.
You better stop his third legs coming out.
And then that's what I mean.
Oh man.
You can make it sound.
I ain't never eaten orange
You
again.
can make it sound. You can make it sound. That's fucking about really. You can make it sound crappy. You can make it sound sensible.
Yeah.
I can make it sound sensual. Or
That's talent.
or I can go stupid on it.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. That's just an orange.
But that's like that to me. That's like proper Foley because you're
Yeah.
using stuff what isn't real. That's what I'm saying. We
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
use
That's
the real
talent.
stuff.
That's crazy.
Stuff which people wouldn't even expect you can make sound out of. Like,
No.
So, what's
And
the
then-
most random objects you've kind of used to make the most weirdest sound, which nobody would expect it to come from that object?
Yeah. That's yeah.
If you know what I mean?
See, I do hundreds a day. Literally hundreds of sounds, thousands of sounds a day.
What's your top 5 best sound effects?
5.
Or top 10 if you want.
Well,
It's up to
that
you.
ship I showed you going
Yeah.
through the water earlier.
Yeah, that was
simple
awesome.
one. Simple.
With the
noise.
sand.
Which is crazy behind how you done it.
Yeah, that's a
The
brush,
brush,
a bag.
sand.
And some sand.
Yeah, but it,
Dumb.
the trick is, what fools everybody is you get it in time with what's happening on the screen. That's what fools
Yeah.
everyone. Do you know what I mean? That's your shit.
That's the
Creates
cherry
that
on the
extra
cake.
emotion.
Yeah,
with
because oh
Chris.
wow, what was that?
Yeah.
And that's me going whoosh through the sea. That took me I don't know 5 or 6 minutes to create that sound. But you need
amazing.
that's part of our job.
Yeah.
It is down to experience as well, but you need that imagination to think right.
Yeah.
I'm going to use this, and this.
And not everyone's got that, especially in
No.
this day and age.
You got, like you said, you need the imagination, the tenacity, the thinking outside of the box.
Yeah.
You can't, like, being an actor is just like one thing where you're doing something that someone's telling you to do, whereas you guys, you're not being told what to do.
No.
You're just thinking, okay, so a bottle open, so easy to just say, all right, let's just open a bottle, put 1,000 mics behind it, and hear a bottle open. How about we try to use something that sounds exactly like how a bottle open, and all we're using is just, I don't know, a thumb in a. No, I'm not going to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anything. Yeah.
Anything.
Anything you put your hands on.
yeah,
Anything you put your hands.
which is nuts because like now I'm kind of thinking every movie I've seen,
You're gonna,
and I always thought, all right, you got your directors, your actors, your sound guys, you hold the microphone and everything, and then now I'm thinking, well, you got Foley artists in the background, like
Yeah.
recreating like the most, horrific saw scenes and the most horrific the It movie
Yeah. Yeah.
when the balloon pops, and
Yeah.
then you got like that scene in It where he's on the stairs and those kind of like Easter eggs are on the floor or dropping,
Yeah.
and that little chubby
or,
kid
or when you're watching horror movies and you hear the door creaking.
The thing is,
floorboards in the borrowers.
yeah. If someone said to me, what's your favourite genre of films,
Yeah.
I would say a horror film all day.
Oh,
long.
okay.
You must play
Because-
I was
around
gonna
with that
ask
part.
you.
Yeah,
that
because
was-
because they'll use quite a lot of Foley on it.
Yeah.
Because it has to be real. It has to be
Yeah.
that natural. It has to be that creak on the floor. What
Yeah.
makes the woman do that? We put the creak there.
I hate watching horrors.
Do you know what I mean? But horror films are the best films for
Yeah.
sound. You can get your explosions, your car crashes, but a decent horror film with sound.
It's more intimate, isn't it?
Something like Annabelle. You watch Annabelle as a movie and watch the
hate
sound on
that.
that. You're like, whoa.
Yeah,
It's
mad.
Never.
If the sound can make you jump,
Yeah.
Then
It
you
does.
know,
It's
then
working,
you know
innit?
you've done a job.
yeah, it's working.
Yeah.
Especially when your mixer's there trying to mix it and you just scared the living.
Yeah, and he's gone, whoa, or he's done what you've done.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh no, straight. That was my
You
natural.
know, because think about it,
I was like,
horror
oh.
movies are literally, when it comes to getting that reaction, emotion reaction, it is mainly the Foley artists, which people don't look at now. So when you think about that now, the fact that you feel that certain emotion is
Yeah.
because the Foley artist done that much of a good job.
Yeah,
So-
and it's also stuff like I say, the sound designers will do their bit.
Yeah.
They're all in tune with us. You've
Yeah.
all got the same
You
imagination.
all got the cogs.
Yeah, you've all got the same sort of
Yeah.
yeah, exactly that. And then they'll put a bit of music on it. The music will go da da da, and everything goes wallop in that same space. And everyone's like, "Fuck, that was decent." And everyone's got involved in it. Bang, there's your noise. It's not just me.
Yeah.
It's everybody's gone wallop all at the same time. I'm just a little bit of that noise.
Yeah.
I'm not going doing all that. I'm just that little. I could be the click. I could
You're
be,
that little finesse.
I could be the blood
Goes
spurt.
in there.
I could be anything. So he gets stabbed, and all the sound designers have all their CDs with millions of sounds on going swish, swish, swish.
Yeah.
And at the end, he slits his throat, and the blood goes up the wall. That could be me. That could just be my little bit. Will be the up the wall. But if that's not there, then the rest of the scene's a bit rubbish. You got to finish it off with that nasty little noise. People go, "Wow, shit, that must have hurt."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That sounded really real. And it's a simple.
I'm just thinking about it. Oof. Top 5, top 10 TV shows that you've done.
Oh, I've done.
Most iconic ones. Let's go with that.
Well, I mean,
we got Top Boy.
Top
came
Boy.
with was a hit.
Do you know what I've done? Literally done thousands.
Your
It'll be
favourites,
stuff
though.
like
Let's go with your favourites.
Programs a few years ago called Ultraviolet. That was about Draculas. Don't you remember that? That was
Okay.
very vampire-y. That was pretty good to do.
Again, that's more like that's very intimate as well because vampires suck blood, the biting.
Exactly. That's where all that will come in.
Yeah.
And that's where they need us.
That's nuts.
That's what they need. Someone
You had him a bit ago sucking on the orange.
Yeah.
I've done. Have you heard of stuff like Midsummer Murders?
Of course, my mum
Yeah,
used to
of
watch
course,
it. ITV,
Right.
ITV1, man.
Well, I've done that for 15 years. They've done something like 160 episodes of that.
Yeah.
I've probably done 150 of them.
Bloody hell.
So I've done all of them.
Look at that guap right there. That chinchilla. I like this.
So yeah, they're the ones that run and run and run. So
Yeah.
they're your bread and water.
They're the, like
Yeah.
that's like your 9 to 5, let's say.
Exactly. That's going to pay your mortgage. That's you
Yeah.
know you're all right that year when
Yeah,
you get
yeah.
that series in, and you get another series put in around it.
So Midsummer's Murders was the bread and butter. You had Ultraviolet, which ran for how many?
That was about 3 or 4 years as well.
Yeah, and damn, and then you got what else? You got like what other soaps, TVs?
We don't do soaps. You don't do Foley on soaps.
Okay.
That's kind of shot live, and
Yeah.
you might get a little bit on it.
Okay,
You might do a little.
so like
bit.
TV shows. Then let's go. What else? What else have you done? That's quite iconic.
Well, I'm doing one right now.
Which we can't talk about.
We can't talk
We're
about.
not going to talk about it.
That'd be a good one. I'll tell you that next week when it comes out.
Amazing.
Oh, next week, yeah?
No, it'll be a couple of months before it
Oh,
comes out.
shit. You got me excited.
But you have to watch that one.
Yeah.
It's set in space, so it's good.
Oof.
Do you know what? I can't think because
Anything like with Netflix? Anything with like big TV show, like because they're producing their shows. He is doing one with Netflix. You just can't tell us. I've read your face. Yeah, detective
Camera,
Bear.
zoom in on that
Coming
face.
in soon.
He's gone red. See, that's the good thing about us being brown. You can't tell when we go red, but that's it.
Okay, so besides the ones you can't tell us about, which I'm about to expose accidentally, any other like iconic ones that came on like the BBC, the TVs, stuff
Yeah,
like
well,
that?
but did you watch stuff like the big iconic ones with stuff like Linda the Plant, Trial and Retributions?
Okay, Doctor
We
Who.
do. No, I don't do Doctor Who. That's,
No?
that's done in Wales.
Don't like Wales.
Don't like Doctor Who.
Harry's not gonna like that.
Oh, yeah.
We got a good friend of ours that's a fanatic Thunderbirds and Doctor Who person. It's nuts. I never knew Doctor Who would have such a big, vast community for just a telephone box, but they do.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
There was ones we did for Sky a couple of years ago. Patrick Melrose was one.
Okay.
That won lots of awards as well. That was Cumberbatch was in that.
Yeah, he was.
It's just, honestly, the thing is that there's so many you do. They just go into one. They just mould into one. If I sat there for 5 minutes and went from my phone, I'll be able to tell you
Yeah.
because they'll just keep popping up.
It's
You know what I mean?
amazing.
It's probably the films you have a bit more fun on.
Okay.
Because
Not the TV shows.
No,
I guess because it's just constant
Yeah.
work. Whereas the movies, they give you like, all right, we've got Annabelle, go, and
Yeah.
then you're like
yeah.
creaking
Like I
doors,
say, Wonder
open.
Woman fight scene,
Yeah,
Mission Impossible. To sit there on a Monday morning, you're just about to start the job,
yeah,
right? So
Yeah.
you've been wanting to work in film and TV for all your life.
yeah,
For moments like this, you sit there and you know you got Mission Impossible, so you
Yeah.
sit and watch the first reel. You'll
Yeah.
always watch it first to get a bit of an idea what's happening. And it comes up on the screen. It goes 5, 4, beep on a beat, and it comes on and it goes dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
Dun, and you
Yeah.
think, fuck, I'm actually working on
yeah.
Mission Impossible. now.
That's nuts.
This is not. This is not schoolboy
Yeah.
stuff. Now.
What
You're
was it like?
working.
What was it like when you first got your first like movie project? Like, what was the feeling like knowing that you've seen, your old man go through it and the types of things that he's been doing during his era, and then you're there, like with your experience that you've got, knowing what you've done, the tricks of the trade, and you're there and you first you're like, okay, it's great. You've got, Midsummer's Murders. That was fantastic, but then you're thinking like, here comes my big blockbuster that I may not be the lead role on this, but I've got enough that I've made this movie sound great. What was it first like? That first ever movie?
Yeah, no, they're good. And
What was
that'll be
that like?
that'll be memories like The Borrowers.
Yeah,
When you've done that and you hear it back, and then you get people come up to you and go, or I'll get emails.
yeah,
Yeah.
Not, I don't know, sometimes America, very rarely. They'll say, I've just watched The Borrowers. It sounds fantastic. And that'll be a random American who works in the business.
yeah,
Might not be a Foley artist, might be a mixer,
yeah.
might be a dialogue editor.
yeah,
Yeah.
But he'll say, heard the Foley sounds lovely. And that's when you go, I actually do quite a good job here, don't I?
Yeah.
You actually feel quite proud. Or I take Charlotte to the cinema to, show her a film I've done.
Yeah.
And she comes out and she's like, oh my God, that was so good. And then you see her face because she thinks, wow, my husband worked on that. And
he's
really
not just
quite-
he's not just out the house
that's
fishing. He's
exciting.
actually doing
he's
work.
actually doing something quite
See, 'cause
creative.
you can't say that in every job. You can't be like, you see my husband here, he put that pipe up there. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Look at the way he bent the pipe, or whatever, something like that.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't hold that same type of like passion and
No,
pride,
no.
really.
Well, she took
Thanks, bud.
she took the car down to
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to knock your work.
she took the car down to Quit Fit a
Yeah,
couple of months ago, and I had my props in the back of the car.
yeah,
And I've got, again, thousands of props. So the young lad opened the boot to the car and sort of stood there because there was like, I had a size 10 gold stiletto pair of shoes in there, a sawn off shotgun, which is a prop,
yeah.
chains,
Shit.
Stanley, everything. And he sort of looked at Charlotte and she went, "Nice fine, it's my husband's." And he went,
It's on a
"Yeah,
shotgun.
that still doesn't really work." And
Yeah.
she sort of explained what I'd done. He was like, "Oh, right, cool." He just never had a clue what she was talking about.
He's thinking they're here to rob the tires.
Right.
He's got like size 10 gold sparkly stilettos and a sawn off shotgun in the boot. If I ever got pulled over by the old Bill, I'd be fine.
I was gonna say, so like, you're carrying such like all your like your props and all that. Do you have the light? Is there a license to carry props? Nothing like
no.
that? Are you not afraid that one day you're going to be pulled over on the M40 and the old Bill's going to be standing there saying, stilettos, shotgun, a knife, a ballet, mate?
This is
where are
a
you
crazy
going?
prostitute gone off the wall.
I think they'd understand. I think.
You reckon?
I got stopped. I got stopped at the airport, Dusseldorf Airport years ago. And customs stopped me then,
Okay.
and I had all my stuff in my bag, and I thought, shit, I got out there all right, but coming home, and all of a sudden I had 3 or 4 customs people around me.
Yeah.
Sold up as well. They were like, what the fuck? They're pulling out rubber gloves, like I say, wires, anything that makes a noise was in my bag, and it looked like a bomb making kit. You never in a
shit.
million years have put that on an
Welcome to our
airplane.
world.
We clearly wouldn't have got away with that.
And what I done what saved me, I got me coconut shells out.
Yeah.
And inside my coconut shell, for some reason, I've written Jason's horse, because that's my horse. So I got the coconut shells out and just went on the conveyor belt.
Yeah.
Just went. I do sounds, and they were
Yeah.
like,
Ah.
put it all back in the bag, and then I got on the plane. But they took away they took stuff like my lighters off me,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is priceless because these lighters are 30 years old. They make noises. They make
Oh.
and they confiscated them all. I said, no, but they don't work. They just creak, or a flint will go on one of them.
Yeah.
And they just took them and threw them in the bin. I mean, them lighters took me years.
What?
to
Coming
develop.
back to the UK?
Yeah.
That's awful.
I
That's
couldn't take a
fucking
lighter on a
shit.
plane. Lighters and obviously the little blades I had, but
Yeah.
they took anything like all off me. And I was like, oh man, that's taking
Even if you
me-
put it in your suitcase.
yeah, took them all off me.
Damn.
Yeah, but that's what got me out of shit. Then me all suits.
Yeah.
Just done.
So you don't carry no like ID saying this is I'm a sound guy.
Nah.
These are props.
No.
I mean, was that
They're
like
not
a one
used.
time you got stopped in the
Yeah.
airport, or was
Yeah.
it just
No.
one time?
Just the one.
So like when you travel now, are you more careful
yeah,
what you're taking?
I'll take all that out.
Yeah.
I would just take stuff where it'd mainly be my shoes, and it'll be a little box of what our class is, what I can get away with. It'll be me creaks, me crunches.
So there's no like, for example, let's say you got a movie you're recording with Steven Spielberg, and it's like these props, like they give you something like it's like a piece of paper that says these are props to be used at the studio. Anything like that? Do they?
Yeah, you can get props off the set.
Yeah.
If
But
they
you
want
just
it,
like yours.
yeah, if they want it to sound specific, like they will give you the props off of the set.
Yeah.
If you're doing something like Casino Royale, when the guys
Yeah.
did that here,
Mm.
they was delivered the chips and the cards off of the set.
Right.
I'm sure we would have made it sound much better with the stuff we like to use.
Yeah.
But they wanted them to sound specifically like that. It doesn't work sometimes. Do you know what I
Gotcha.
mean? So so we do get the props sometimes off the set,
Yeah.
but they don't always work.
That's crazy. You don't carry your own like ID badges saying you're working on so and so's film. Hence why don't confiscate my stuff because I kind of bloody need it. Buddy.
They don't care, do they?
Mm.
I could be lying.
That is
Yeah.
there's
You
one
know.
true.
You know, so
You're making all those nice noises. You could be lying about it. So I mean, we've gone so far into the podcast. Like, born and raised London, moved to Aylesbury. What the transition?
Moved to Aylesbury 21 years ago.
Okay.
Because
That's a long, yeah, that's a long
so we was just starting our family.
Yeah.
And there was, believe it or not, there was going to be a massive Foley studio built out towards Leighton Buzzard.
Ah.
Out that
That'd have been
Salisbury
good.
way. Yeah.
Okay.
So I moved from London.
Hoping there was a studio being built.
Yeah. Well, I was involved in it all.
Okay.
So I moved my whole family up here.
You allowed to talk about it?
Well, it didn't happen. It just all fell through. We got picked up in a big car at the train station with a promise of we're going to pay you X amount. You come and work for us. We're going to build this studio. So
Yeah.
me and my then first wife, who was pregnant with our first, said, "Well, let's go and make a new life in Buckinghamshire."
Okay.
So we moved to Aylesbury. That all fell through.
Yeah.
So I stayed in Aylesbury.
So 21 years later, I'm guessing you like it here because
Oh, it's the
Not
best move. It was fate for me. It's the best move I've ever done.
Mm.
You know, because it's much nicer around here. You know, where kids have got
More incognito for yourself, because I guess you private man.
Mm.
You don't want to be out in the public eye. You know, being like, oh, do this sound for us, do this, monkey man, make this for us right now. My son wants to hear you stab an orange.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
all right, Karen, chill out.
Yeah.
You know.
I do get that sometimes. I was at a mate's party once, and they was all bricklayers.
yeah,
You know.
brickies.
And it was my mate's wife's 50th, and I walked up to the bar, and my mate said to his mate, who I didn't know, "Oh, this is Jason. He does the sound effects." And this fella went to me, "Oh, do us an horse," and they all started laughing. And I was like, "Oh, I'll do you an horse. If you want to build me a wall, can you build me a wall?"
yeah.
And he was
He's
like,
"Who are you, Donald Trump?"
yeah, and he was like, "Oh, no." I said, "What are you taking the piss out of? You have no fucking idea who I am or what I do as a job.
Yeah.
You just think it's a joke because you
Yeah.
use coconuts, but you know, fine.
Yeah.
You build walls. You build walls.
Yeah,
you-
exactly. The same thing over and over again.
Yeah. And
It
I'm
has
like,
no creativeness to it. It's just repetitive.
yeah, and he's just taking a piss for no reason.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, oh.
I mean, they sound like they must have had a bit to drink as well.
Oh, of course he did.
Yeah.
But it's
Well,
fine.
that's how they are on site, aren't they? I mean,
Yeah.
some people just kind of like,
Yeah,
but
that's fine though. It was cool.
Did you ever like have a feeling that would this job be like an actual like real tangible thing that you'd be doing that would support
No.
your family? Was there like a moment in your time when you saw your dad doing it? By the way, did your dad have another job besides being that, or was he a full-time Foley?
No, he was a Foley recordist, so
Gotcha.
he would record us.
He'll record you guys. So
Yeah.
that was his full-time.
Yeah, but then I don't know, 25 years ago, in one of the recessions, he got made redundant.
Yeah.
So he went into freelance Foley artistry.
Yeah.
Right, he done it for 2 or 3 years. That's when I was at my prime age of about 11,
Yeah.
and I used to go around the country with him to do it with
Yeah.
him.
Amazing.
And then he got employed again as another job when the recession came out. So he carried on doing his Foley recording and mixing, and that's how I got my was in there. But there was many a times I thought, this can't be. I can't.
This can't be real.
I can't have kids in a
Yeah.
family because it's not, like you say, it's not a tangible job. It's
Mm.
not, because I'm only booked per day. I'm a daily artist. I'll
Yeah.
be booked per day.
Gotcha.
You know.
So you got to have Monday to Friday, Saturday to Sunday.
And it's quite stressful when you're sitting there trying to work out where your next job's coming in, and then
Yeah.
you've got the added pressure of trying to chase your payment.
Mm.
yeah, that's
Some people are a
that's
real
annoying.
pain in the arse. I always have 30-day turnaround and they leave it, and then you ring up accountants and they're like, "Oh, we've lost your invoice." And it's like,
It's,
I've heard
it's
it
like
for 20.
trades.
I've heard it for 25 years. The same excuse. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Just pay it. You've been paid this month,
Yeah.
so pay me.
I guess it's no different from when you used to be a plumber to now being self-employed tradesman. You're always chasing the bills.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
chasing the money. You're never gonna get it on point. But I guess like when you were thinking about this job and you were gonna go for this full time, what sparked it? What was that moment you said, you know what, no, I can actually do this, and this can be my full time gig, and I can actually support a family and make life make life of it.
I think when
When was that pivotal moment?
probably before I got married, probably early on,
Yeah.
because I was earning probably 3 times, 4 to 5 times as much money as I was plumbing.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Literally walks. I
Wow.
was thinking,
Right.
I'm earning a day now what it was taking me a week to earn as
Yeah.
a plumber. Because I went through the YTS scheme and stuff, so I was only on your 35 quids a week, or
Gotcha.
then it went up to like £70
Yeah,
a week.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you know, then I went in and I thought, actually, this is quite. And then it was just people sort of saying, actually, you can do this job. Why don't you try and make a living of it? And I was like, well, give it a go.
So you had good people around you supporting.
Yeah.
Like so that would be a major factor then.
Yeah, there's other artists who now retired, who I learnt off, and some have even died. You know, I've been doing it that long, who I learnt off the old school ones. So yeah, you do need the support. You do need the people around you,
It's the circle.
because it's quite a fickle business.
Mm.
It's quite backstabbing.
I was gonna say
You
there must
can't
be a
put-
lot.
Yeah, if you
It's
fart,
trust issues.
if you fart, someone will hear about it. You know, what I mean, you can't put a foot out. I've
No,
heard-
no,
do you know
I
what
can't do it.
I mean? You're a shit Foley artist.
Fuck's sake!
Can't even
It's
make
not Noel Gallagher.
Can't even make a fart noise. Yeah, it's quite a backstabby bit. Like I said, you can't put a foot out wrong, because you're only. I've always said to people, you're only as good as your last job.
Gotcha.
If your last job's shit, you probably ain't getting employed again.
Mm.
So you have to be on the ball every time. You can't
On
go.
your toes.
You can't go in. You can't go in hungover. You can't go in a bit depressed, a bit down because you had a shitty weekend. You got to be up morning, guys. You got to be bubbly, because they're paying you
To do the job.
to do their
bring
film
that,
for
yeah.
them. So you can't go and go, oh, I've got a bit of an headache. So like, well, that's no good to us. We're paying you, you know, X amount of
Yeah.
hundreds of pounds to do our job for us.
So at a young age, you were pretty switched on, saying, you know what, I can actually do this.
I was much fitter than, wasn't I?
Yeah.
So I was doing 7 days a week.
But there must have been like some sort of like, because like nowadays, see, the reason I'm asking that question is you got people nowadays at the age of like 24, 25. And we were talking about this on the last podcast we done here. And it was like, you're getting teenage kids who are at 20, 22, 23, even 25, thinking that they've got to make decisions in their lives on what to do now, because it's the norm. It's like, you got to have a house, you got to have wife
It's
and
the
kids, you
pressure
got to
from
have
social media.
yeah, you got to have these certain, you know, stabilities in your life in order to succeed in life, because someone's telling you this. So like my point being was like, you know, you must have been at a young age where you were like, yo, nah, I can do this. And were you thinking about the risks? Like, if this didn't happen, if it didn't go through, what would you have done then?
I might have had to go back into the building trade, mightn't I? I'd have done something like that, because I'm not. I left
It's a
school.
net, yeah.
I left school with nothing. No education. You did back in the 80s,
Yeah.
mid 80s. You didn't leave school with A level. My certain
Yeah.
friends and family didn't. We just went to school because we had to.
Yeah,
So I'd had to go into some sort of trade again.
a safety net.
Yeah.
As I like to, like
Yeah,
my
there
dad
was,
would
there
call
was
it, yeah.
always that. I could have fallen back into a bit of plumbing if I really had to.
Yeah.
I wasn't particularly good at it and I didn't like it, but
Yeah.
I probably could have scratched a living out of it. But no, don't forget when I've done this since when I started 95 or something like that. I started say 23 years ago.
It's 4 years old.
Oh, you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like 22, 23.
I was still
Jeez.
liquid nut.
Yeah, man. And
I like that liquid nut.
but times have changed. Like I could buy
Yeah.
an house. My first house. It sounds like I'm talking like 300 years ago. I bought my first house.
Yeah.
For 27.5 grand
Fuck
Jesus.
in South
yeah.
London.
Fuck.
1 bedroom Victorian house. That's how much they were back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Just come out the end of a recession.
Yeah, everything's
I was earning pretty
Good
good
money.
money.
yeah.
You know, I was thinking, I can buy an house here. I can go on holiday. I bought my first BMW. All out of doing this job
Yeah.
within a
So
year.
things that are turning and
And
churning.
I'm thinking, hold on, I mean, this could be quite, you know, it's
Living the dream.
yeah. I'm working all these big
Yeah.
films. Look at me, look.
Yeah,
I'm
big
loving
shot.
it. I'm loving it. Got married, had kids, bought it, moved to Buckinghamshire,
Yeah.
countryside house.
Oi,
Do you know what I mean? I'm thinking,
easy.
look at me go.
Jason coming through.
Subtle flex.
So yeah. it
So
wasn't-
the risk factor was never in your head. You were just thinking, if it doesn't happen, I'll go back to trade and I can make something out of the
Yeah,
trade, because
yeah.
trade will always be there. See, that's the mentality I got. I said, like, with this podcast, if the podcast doesn't make it to where I want it to be, and it just doesn't fall
You
through,
got something to
at
fall
least
back
I
on.
can go back,
Yeah.
because that stuff doesn't run out.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those trades. It's like one of those jobs that can never not. You can never not have them. Like an accountant, you can never not have. Being a lawyer, a doctor, a trades, being a tradesman, just it's there.
It's always going to be
Yeah,
there.
it's going to be there. It's
Yeah.
never one of those jobs that won't ever not be there. If you
Yeah,
know what I'm trying to say.
exactly. No, yeah,
A
yeah,
bit
yeah.
like, let's be fair, with your job, like being a Foley, that's always going to be there, because there are some things that the machines and the CGOs can never
Yeah.
make,
Yeah.
that you're going to need the human the human body, the human sound to
Yeah.
make.
To think the way he does and be
Yeah.
creative as well.
Yeah.
You can't take that. Like, a robot cannot think outside of the box.
That's what I mean.
Like you can.
If someone's walking down the road pissed,
Yeah.
you couldn't find footsteps on a library of a pissed bloke.
No.
It's quicker and easier and a damn sight cheaper to put me in a room, record me just to do it
Yeah.
naturally.
It's crazy.
I'll scrape
So,
the floor, like I say, I'll fall over.
Yeah, so you mentioned about you wanting to open up a studio. So
yeah, let's talk about
I want
that.
to talk more about, your studio and like your plans and
No, it's my dream. It would be
Your
my
dream,
it'd be
yeah.
any Foley artist ever. I would
Yeah.
imagine. I'm probably not speaking out of term here. It would be their dream to own their own studio, because you'd know exactly what to put in it. Whereas we go around other studios, some things are not perfect. A surface might not be perfect, or that prop might not be perfect, or the mic, or the position of the telly. If I had my own studio, everything will be perfect in that room.
So the minute you're making the sound, the minute the TV's there, the minute the camera's there, everything's all in sync.
It's all with me. I've built it. I've built the surfaces there. I think they should sound. That will be my dream.
so is that gonna be in Aylesbury, did you say?
No,
Or around.
it could be anywhere. What you need to do is find yourself a little remote barn. That's what you need.
Yeah.
Like that place I showed you earlier.
Yeah.
That's a lovely little remote barn in Nebworth, which is 40 minutes from here. A nice little drive to work. I go to work on a farm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a barn.
No one there to disturb you. No
one there.
suits.
No, you hear your tractor go past. You stop
Yeah.
because you hear the tractor go past because the mics are so live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You stop for 2 seconds or 10 seconds, then you carry on. Then you come home, jump in your car, and you drive home. Nice little drive home. There's no fucking about with trains. I'm not mixing with thousands of people. I mean, I worked in London for 8 years. I worked in Soho for 8 years because the hub for the sound years ago was all in Soho.
Yeah, that's a busy place. That's a hustle bustle.
I spent 8 years there. It was good. I earned the money. The money was there to be earned.
Oh yeah, you had to go through that Soho busyness to make the money to now get to where you are now.
Exactly.
For then now for you to go be on a farm.
Yeah, that would be my to get a barn. Yeah, or somewhere like that. It hasn't got to be massive.
Isolated.
Yeah, just not just dry. You employ the people you want to employ.
Yeah.
You get your work in. You can work at your own pace. You're not being told what to do.
Yeah.
Got to be done before. Got to be done before.
Will it be something for us like to teach future Foley artists to come in?
That I think if that ever happened, if any Foley artist of like my ilk was to do that, that would be immense, and you'd get a lot of interest in it.
You would.
100%.
But someone of my experience,
Caliber.
would be able to pick who could do it or not. I could you. I could probably tell you within an hour if I think you could be a Foley artist.
You told him within 30
And apparently,
seconds.
yeah, I don't.
No. You're shit. It took me fucking 2 minutes to tell you.
It took you 5 seconds. He's gone. He's gone. He's out.
But that would be. But going forward, because it's also
It's a talent.
It's a dying trade.
Yes.
Because there's not many young people coming through. There's a couple in London who I've worked with for years.
But it's like it's not exactly a job well known. It's not something
No.
up there on, like when you go through like certain job applications back in the days, and you would click like what sort of job. You had architecture. You had like a farmer, a landscaper.
It's not on the school
plumber.
curriculum.
It's not. It's not there. It doesn't exist on that government.
No. Well, my daughter, she's 14. She just took her options.
Yeah.
And one of her options was TV, film, and media.
Yeah.
They scrubbed it from the curriculum because nobody wanted to do it.
Wow.
Nobody, because nobody knows about it. No parents are like, oh yeah, do that.
Yeah, no, because it's not something that your
You
parents
don't know
would want
it.
to think.
So they actually scrubbed, because I said to my Eden, no, that'd be doing that, You know about Foley, you know about sound, you know about films, you know about TV, you've grown up with it. But because something like 3 pupils picked it, they were like, well, we can't run it.
Wow.
So they're doing your history, your geography, they're doing everything else, but they're just
So the thing that like a kid would want to do, it doesn't exist because they can't accommodate it.
They're going to find it very, 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 very difficult.
So-
Unless I took, how my daughter could get into it is if I took her to work and taught her. Then she'd be the next upcoming Foley artist. That's how you do it. Or if you had a son who had a massive interest, I wouldn't teach Eden because she's not interested in it. She wants to be a tattoo artist.
Right.
So she's arty,
Yeah.
just in a different
Yeah,
form.
Just in a different
So
form.
she could possibly do it.
Yeah.
She's never tried it, but she could possibly, because she's got the imagination. That's all you
Yeah,
need,
exactly.
is imagination. So that really will be the only way you could get in
Through the doors.
through the doors. I mean, you can get in other ways. If I put an advert on Twitter or for Instagram and said, I'm starting a Foley school,
Taking 5 people.
who wants in? it'll go fucking wallop.
Yeah,
I
of course
guarantee you,
it
it will
would.
be global
That's
because everyone
crazy.
wants to do it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, there's no time to teach anybody. Like I
No.
said to you, your schedules are so tight. So if you had your own place, you
You have more flexibility.
You could use your own time. That's when you could teach someone to do it. Two or three youngsters to do it.
Yeah, because you'll have the guys working on the sounds, coming in from the contracts from like the big Hollywoods and all that, and then you could just have this like evening course.
Yeah.
Right, here's the basics.
Yeah.
This is what we're going for.
Or they'd come in during the day.
Yeah.
And they would help me with stuff like background people. So I do the main people walking in and out. You get backgrounds. But I will teach you how to do that background. I'll teach you to look at your number. We have time code. That's what I work on. Time. People call me autistic with numbers, and I am autistic with numbers. I for some reason I don't know what, but I can read a time code
Easy off
just
the
like
bat.
that, off the corner of my eye. If I see an action on the screen,
Yeah.
my eye automatically goes to the time code. Bang, 24 seconds and 12 frames. So then I know. I don't know how I've learned that. That's just practice and repetition. So when they say to me, "Okay, Jace, can you do that punch?" I know at 24 seconds and 12 frames, I've got to go boom.
That thing's got to come in hard.
Yeah.
That.
You can't be early or late. If you're late, you've ruined the illusion.
Yeah.
You've ruined it because it goes. Well, what's that? That shit, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've lost.
Yeah.
You've lost that. Like I said
That's
earlier,
like dubbed Chinese movies.
Yeah, that. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly that. That's what.
Hey,
it'll be
you.
Like. Yeah.
Hey, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm on you.
Come back.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, we're moving off from the Foley, but like the dubbing scene hasn't exactly been spot on. I mean, there's so many movies I've seen. Like there's a movie called District 13 or B13. It was like a French what's the thing where they do the whole like running off walls and
That parkour.
parkour stuff, right?
Yeah.
And it was the best movie I saw, but when they dubbed it, it just didn't have this like it didn't have that same tenacity. I didn't feel like I was listening to the main character, or I wasn't.
But see that. But for someone like you who doesn't know
Yeah,
about the industry at all, to say that
yeah,
is ringing massive alarm bells in my head.
yeah,
Because if someone who hasn't got a clue what's happening thinks it sounds shit,
yeah,
then we're buggered,
yeah,
aren't we? Because I watch stuff, and I can legitimately say that sounds shit because I know what I'm talking about. That was out of sync. That didn't really work for me. I'm not a dubbing mixer, they're way more.
Like I said, neither am I. But when I see like when you watch like a foreign movie and you watch it in their language, you can hear like the each sound, like the sound of the sword and the swinging and all that stuff. And believe it or not, like I have an ear for listening to things like that because again, with the podcast, everything's got to sound on point. It's got to sound fresh. The minute you move away from the mic like that, I come back in again. And it's just you got to have a knack for it. But like I said, with the dubbing scene, I don't think they've kind of, for me personally, I haven't seen the dubbing scene good enough yet. As in, like my brother's a massive like anime fan, and he likes watching like your Dragon Ball Z's, your Naruto's, the new stuff coming out, and it's all done in Japanese, right? And I think the Japanese have kind of like found a new way and found a brilliant way of dubbing it perfectly. And some people say, "Oh, it sounds better in their language," and then I'm like, yeah, but I don't like reading subtitles. That's my problem, right? Because I can't go subtitle. Oh, mate, I just missed what you said. Damn it! And then it's like that moment. So like, that's with me personally as someone like a consumer who's watching dubbed movies because he's watching it from a foreign to the English. It's got to have that. You got to feel like if he's the main character, I don't want to be hearing him sounding like sloppy, slow, and not energetic. He's got to be the main character, and if she's the one that's falling in love with the main character's brother, you got to be able to hear that and feel that through the voice. So I think, that's just my personal take on the dubbing scene.
That's what I'm saying. It's interesting that someone who doesn't know, respectively,
of course,
doesn't know anything about it, you're picking that out.
Yeah.
So if you had half an idea of what was happening, but people are getting paid. That's what I'm saying about your schedules and your timing. People. It's like
they want it then and they want it now. They want it yesterday.
It's like getting a builder to build your wall and he's going to build it pissed. Do you know what I mean? But he's going to do it at 50 quid. You can pay 50 quid and get it built pissed, or you can pay 100 quid and get it built straight.
Yeah, I agree.
The thing with our job is now a lot of people are just paying the 50 quid to get it built pissed.
And then they end up with a piss job.
Yeah.
And then you've got people like you going, that didn't sound very good. I'm loving the fact you said that don't sound very good. I'm loving that fact.
Yeah.
Because to me, I'm thinking,
Yeah.
there are people who are listening to what we're doing as a job.
Yeah.
Again, like I said to you, with the podcast, I have to listen to everything. So the minute we have background noises, I've got to make sure I can cover that background noise.
Yeah.
Yeah, the minute we kind of go a bit too loud or a bit too slow, like, you know, when we're moving off, like, again, it's you got to have that, like, in order to be doing something, and I've always said this, and Hate says, you either got to be 2 feet in or just don't bother.
Don't bother with it.
Yeah, if you're going to give me the sloppy toppy, don't bother, because I'm not in for that. I'm in for the long haul. I want that richness. Like, after you saying the movies you've been on, and I've watched these movies, and I can recall these movies, everything sounds just perfect.
Like even Exodus, Gods and
yeah.
That's
Like,
a good
you know,
movie.
from the little footstep. So like this is how like intricate it gets. It gets from the minute he's lifting his foot off the heel and walking to the minute he's drawing the sword, the minute he's popping a button, the minute the door's closing and opening. It's those finer sounds that make the movie perfect.
Yeah, of course it is.
And it's like, and I said again, and I can't stress it enough, like if you dub a movie, please, for God's sake, dub it in accordance to the way the original movie was done.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, I'm just gonna end up with like someone saying, you know, oh, he's falling off the cliff. Oh, don't fall off the cliff. Oh yeah, right. Now I've got all the emotion. Now I really give a shit about him falling off the cliff. But yeah, no, it's
Have you seen the Joker?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Foley on that is brilliant.
It is.
Watch the Foley.
Do you know the person?
No,
who done
that was done in America. Them,
Oh,
I say them sort of big films. We've done plenty here. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, but that was done there. That will always be an American production. But
It's
that-
always
but-
from the lipstick.
do you chat to any of? Oh, sorry. Go
No,
on.
but they would have had 3-4 times longer than we would have been given on it.
Okay.
Years ago, the Americans used to call us the Mexicans because we work for nothing as far as they're concerned. We don't.
Oh, yeah.
We don't, but we work.
America.
It's just the way. It's always been like that. I don't know why.
It's crazy. But like I said, there are people listening to, like, we've probably got some listeners out there that listen for the smoothness and the texture of certain things. It's, again, with audio podcast as well as visual, you got to have, there's got to be certain flavor to it. There has to be like a flavored, textured sound to what you're listening to. It can't just be someone like half breathing, half beating on the mic. There's certain ways of doing it. So like I said, like when I'm listening to the movies you like now, when you talk about the movies you made and the movies coming up, and I'm seeing them and I'm hearing them, you love it a little bit more. You add a little bit more. You can understand the
'cause
work
you'll
and
know.
hard work that goes into it. Now it's not just a complete doss about. It's actually
Yeah, and if you watch the credits roll at the end of it,
Yeah.
and you see my name go up, you go, oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know, I don't
So-
know.
Yeah.
so they actually credit you guys then. That's sick.
That's good. At least to do that.
Only on.
Big.
Yeah.
Big movies. Not
I have no idea what
TV
I don't
shows?
do. I think in 23 years I've been credited twice on TV
really.
because it costs money.
What, to just put someone's name on there?
Yeah,
That's
that roller.
That's some bullshit.
That roller is costing money. Every time it's rolling, it's costing money. So the least people they put on it, the better.
Oh, that's just dumb.
That's
yeah.
nah, out of like pure integrity for the movie and everyone that's taken role, like, you're a key cog to make it happen as well. And so it's just as important to put you in that.
Yeah, but there's probably loads of they haven't put on.
But
But
that's
yeah,
that's awful.
Yeah, but we're just trying to put in like the most like intricate part of the business is the Foley part. Without that, you just got a movie
You've got a
that
flat movie.
yeah, it's like imagine
basically.
if you did a parkour movie with all the noises kicking off, you wouldn't be hearing the hand off the brick,
that's it.
you know, or the foot off the slippery floor.
Yeah.
You know that little squeaky noise they
That's
make.
what you want.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you wouldn't hear that.
He'd definitely make a Foley artist, wouldn't he? Fuck's sake, 1 to you 0 to me. Yeah. He's proud. He's like that's the brown son I never had. If you want to adopt him, you can.
He looks like no, I couldn't do that. It's too big.
That's a shit, man. I got white dad. Hey, Dad, you've been exchanged. We've changed. I'm now no more a gas engineer.
Adopt
I'm
him
about
now.
to
For
drop
£2 a month, you could adopt a Pakistan.
Oh, here we go. Wow.
Comes with free basmati rice.
Not from Uncle Ben. That's just crazy. But like I said, like I keep saying, we do have an ear for these things, and it's incredible that we get to appreciate a little bit more for the movies, what goes into it.
Yeah,
don't you
I
reckon?
think definitely anyone that's listening to this now, like, you can actually understand what goes into this now. Now, everyone that will listen to this podcast will appreciate what you do more so. I mean,
I'm all out of questions. I think I've asked every question under the sun. I mean, I've even gone from family to work to life
Yeah.
to fitness, because obviously the fitness has to be a big key. You know, you can't have there's not going to be a fat Foley artist that's gonna be like half breathing, like
Yeah, no, you can't be one of them. You have to be, yeah.
you know, this it's not the scene out of Men in Black which is please more sugar, please more sugar. You know, you're not gonna get that, are you? You're gonna get you need to be like, and it's a bit like what you said. When you go into something like production and sound and even podcasting, like if I've had the worst day or the worst week, my luggage left at that door.
Yeah.
I'm here and I'm going to show you the fakest part of me being happy and enjoying your work. By the way, it's not fake; it's actually real because I squealed like a little bitch when you made that noise. My hands up on that one.
I mean, you know, like I say, I've worked for people
Yeah.
who have been in the studio behind me, like an editor,
Yeah,
standing behind me, telling me what to do,
yeah,
and I'm screwing,
yeah.
but I can't say anything.
No,
I've got to keep my mouth shut
Yeah.
and smile.
Yeah.
it's a bit
Because
like
they're paying me.
yeah,
You know what I mean? I can't go, nah, mate. Some people can, but I haven't got it in me.
no,
Yeah.
So I have to put that smile and go, yeah, of course I will. I think you're completely wrong what you're asking me to do, and it's completely wrong, and it's going to sound shit, but I'll do it because you think it's going to sound good.
yeah,
And then you've got to have a standoff because no one will back down.
yeah. You got to show where. It's okay. This is the same similarity of being a plumber stroke gas engineer. Same. It's like it's the same kind of like environment we're in where we're dealing with a boiler, and you've got customers saying, "No, this is how it works. It works like this," and then you're thinking like, part of me just wants to give you my tool bag.
Yeah.
And I'll go sit down, watch, you know, I don't know, Countdown, whatever you're watching during the daytime, because I don't even know what daytime TV's like. And how about you have a crack at this bloody boiler, and I'll just sit down and put my feet up. Same thing.
Mm.
I reckon there's no difference with customers
I've been
and
kicked off a few
editors.
sites for getting annoyed with certain site managers. Like when I was working for agencies, I was just like, do you know what? Because I know I can get a job in a couple of days. I was just fuck off, mate. I'm finding another
There's-
job.
there's
Like,
not-
I can't do it.
there's nothing worse than someone telling you how to do your job,
Oh, no.
Yeah.
knowing damn well that they don't know what they're doing, but it's like a superior complex.
Yeah.
So like,
And you get a lot of that in our game.
I bet
There's a lot of, it shouldn't be because everyone's equal in my eyes.
in your eyes, but it's not when it's on the film. You got your directors, your producers, your
Punctuation.
actors.
Yeah, you'll get the ones who are a little bit, who think they're higher up than you. And
Yeah.
they can give you the orders and
Yeah.
because they're the money men.
Because he's
Yeah.
got Tom Cruise's number and you know,
It doesn't matter because you know
Yeah.
you still need us. You still need me to work for you.
You
So
do.
You're better off everyone's just being happy and getting on. Just be equal.
but it's not as far off. It's not as far off in terms of like how we deal with customers in the construction industry or in the trade game. Same thing happens day in, day out. You'll have someone who tells you what to do, and then you'll have someone who's really nice and lets you crack on it. You have some people like, I bet you any money you've done a job right in doing sound, and you've had someone standing over you watching you work.
Oh yeah.
That's
See?
that's
Same
so
thing.
annoying. I hate that.
My first time that ever happened to me when I first went out on my own and I was working, it's the most daunting and weirdest moment in my life. Like, you end up questioning yourself, like, am I doing it
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Am I doing this right?
Yeah.
Someone tell me, am I doing it? Is this how you're meant to do my job? Like, you end up doing it, and it's the weirdest moment, and it's crazy because I was just gonna say the same thing to you. I bet that happens like day in
It
day
doesn't
out,
happen
you know?
often with me because, like I said, there's not that many of us.
Yeah.
But if you are working with someone the same caliber as you, the same experience, and they end up looking at you, what you're doing, it like you just said, it puts you off
Oh yeah, major.
because you're thinking, what are you looking at?
Yeah, have I done
Why-
something wrong?
Yeah. Wouldn't you make that sound?
Yeah.
What sound would you make on that then? Because I think that sounds out. And it does throw you. It can
Yeah.
throw you. And the thing with my job is I'm so conscious about sync. They'll all tell you I'm a little bit autistic with sync as well. It's numbers and sync. I've got to be in sync.
Oh, 100%. You have to.
can't-
Like I said, if you're not in sync with the dubbing side, it
Yeah,
throws the whole movie
you've
off.
lost it. You've
Yeah.
also got to put your character in, and that all comes
Yeah.
with it. It's a,
Yeah.
it's a package. But as soon as you lose your little bit of bottle in a studio,
Everything goes.
you're gone.
Mm.
And we, as artists, this isn't a big headed statement, by the way, but we can, our moods can control the studio all day long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the aura.
And that's why 99 times out of 100, I'll go in happy and jokey, jovial. I'll crack a joke. I might swear. I might
Yeah.
do something fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Makes them all laugh. Then you know what day you're set up for. There has been days where someone's pissed me off and I've gone, right, Jace, shut down.
Yeah.
And I've gone, boom, and I ain't speaking to no fucker.
Yeah.
And then the studio's like, uh-oh.
Incredible.
We've got like it's our past 10, we've got another 6 hours of this shit. And I'm like,
I'm gonna be like this for the rest of the day now. Like, you can't fake it.
Happy Jace is gone.
Yeah.
Because you've done something really shitty to piss me off.
Yeah.
So I'll do my job for you. There's your bottle down. There's your punch. Here's your hand on the chair. I'm still doing it professionally.
Yeah. But it's
you
not
haven't
that.
got-
It's
you
not.
haven't-
doesn't
you haven't
feel-
got the
There's
balance.
not the 100%
No.
authenticity
Yeah,
going on.
you haven't got. You've lost my feeling. You've lost the love. You've lost the feeling.
You lost respect.
The
Yeah.
passion that goes into it as well.
Yeah. So you're much
Yeah.
better off keeping on our side because we'll be much more.
I say the same thing.
Inclined to
Don't
do
be
even
pissing the
more.
gas engineer off
Yeah.
because I swear to God, we will cap your gas meter.
Yeah.
Walk away, and then you'll have to call SGN out. SGN are going to come out and they're going to give you another fire report. They'll probably take 2 to 3 hours. You'll be probably getting cold, catching pneumonia, and you know what? I'll be happy and enjoying my hot water. at
Doesn't
home.
matter, does it?
No.
Because you're not even there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, you're just another job.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy, but that's the mentality we'll have. Like, again, it's all about respect. You know, don't be treating people like shit based on what they're doing just because you got a camera and you're shouting out action and you met Ben Stiller and Robert Downey Jr.
Doesn't mean anything to me.
Yeah.
That.
Perfect.
Doesn't mean anything to me.
100%.
See, now when we edit this podcast, he's gonna put a lot more thought into editing it now.
You know what it is?
It's gonna be like Jason's judging me.
Like, all joking aside, it's something that so this is gonna sound funny to you, right? And I thought I might as well just share this with you. When I first started doing this whole podcast game, it took about 6 years for me to actually muster the courage of actually doing this because, one, I didn't know jack about microphones, Zoom recorders, anything like about media, right? Fast forward, we're getting the editing done, and I'm like sat there behind this guy who's editing, and literally I listen to the clip back and I'm looking at the numbers, the timestamps, right? And I go, right, 01 ... 02 45, take that all the way to 46, cut that out for me, right? And I'm literally sat there and I'm doing all the edits on paper. Literally, I'm having papers and papers. I'm literally doing what I could have done on, Adobe Premiere Pro, all that stuff. But it hasn't registered in my head that I can actually do this because I'm looking at it thinking, mate, this looks like the Matrix. I'm looking at like all this weird, and half of the stuff doesn't have to be on there. And I'm literally like, after all, I've watched the YouTube tutorials and gone through and thought, mate, half of this stuff is just nonsense. Ignore it. It's like half the tools in my van. I'm never going to use them, and I might use them once in my entire life, but I will never be using that ever again.
So, I think that's the beauty of my job is, and luckily enough, like I say, I left school with nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm not the brightest tool in the box. I still probably can't turn on a P. I have to ask the kids or Charlotte how to do this on the phone or how to do that. I don't need to be technical at all in my job. I have not even got to know how to turn that on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
It's all just art, which is very good. It's lucky for me because that's what I do.
Amazing.
So,
But like I was saying, like with the editing, it's now become more of a passion. So like I then learned how to edit, like the chop and the cut, and do that and listen to the microphone. And then someone like one of our good friends who owns a studio, and he's a producer for quite a lot of Oxford artists.
like Cam.
Yeah, BLX Studios. He literally said to me, right, the way you lot need to now talk, the only thing I've got for you guys is where you're positioning the microphone. Sometimes you guys are too close, sometimes you guys are too far away, sometimes the audio is too high, sometimes too low. Like, you'll start to see your voices fluctuate. And he says, like, there's a program on there where you see it kicking a bit too high. He says, now bring it down, make it sound a bit more smoother.
So what do you edit on
Like,
then?
I edit on Premiere Pro. So I watched that on YouTube. I pretty much learned it myself, kind of did the whole thing, edited or I give Tyler the whole functions, and it's just like a passion. And now it's like the more and more I edit audio, the more and more new things I learn. Like when we add in a bit too much curse words, or we say someone's name and I bleep out, and it sounds it just sounds hilarious. Like he'll say something, you can't say bleep, and then he'll be like, no, but I think he says bleep, and then it's like people just love it. It's just like every day I'm learning something new, and it's just something that I'll probably do full time.
And the fact that it's only been just like, slightly over a year that we both kind of got into this, just learning new things all the time.
Yeah,
It's
but
exciting.
I said to you earlier, I've been doing my job 24 years.
Yeah,
23, 24 years. Tomorrow when I go to work, I bet you I do something different. I don't know what noise it will be, or it might be a footstep, or it might be a punch, or I'll do something and go, oh, man, that sounded good. I ain't done that before. It's another thing I've learned. I just might have caught something. Like I say, by putting your leg on a hollow floor for a punch, not many artists will know how to do that because they'll just go like that. Where you get a punch off me, you're going to get a boom. Because I don't mind it in myself. Look, listen, no one likes hurting themselves. But to get a decent sound...
Your body is your tool.
I don't... Exactly. This is my toolkit here. My toolkit's a sport.
How much is your public liability insurance?
I ain't got any of that.
You got no...
They won't... No. I tried to insure my legs. I won't insure your legs.
Really?
I tried that years ago, yeah.
hands, body,
Nothing.
nothing. So
Just life insurance and car insurance. Is all I've got.
That's it. All in the same boat,
you
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
So, like I say, I've got my toolkit is a big bag of shoes and me, and I walk into a room, and like I say, I beat myself up, cut myself, run about, sweat, do whatever, but I'll never walk out and think, "Fucking look at you, look, you are a nut." Never. It's just I just walk out and go, "That was a lovely day again, wasn't it?"
That's a brilliant.
Done
day.
some nice sounds.
I love that perspective. I love it's just genuinely like it's simplicity at its most, and like
I want to know what it's like sitting around your
Yeah.
table having family. So, what did you get up to today, Dad? You know, I
Just have a
kind of,
good day,
you know,
you know?
I stuffed a cabbage, broke some celery, bit the shit out of an orange.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you'll see when the movie comes out, kids. You'll see what I'm doing. You think, okay, Dad. Right. What about you, Mama? I did this. I done that, and it must be an incredible conversation to be having. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like Charlotte said last night. We were sitting around the table last night eating, and my son, my middle son,
Yeah.
is a policeman,
Okay.
and he was talking about his shift at work yesterday.
Yeah.
And sort of Charlotte sat there and she went, "Oh my God," she went, "I've got the most boring job in the family," but she works for Costa Coffee. I said,
Shouts. Can she?
"No,
What?
she saw that. She saw that."
Shouts out to Costa. We got Costa everywhere.
Big up
Costa
Charlotte.
bags. We hate Starbucks. Just put that out there.
Did you hear that, love? Good.
Costa's the one.
cup
You
there,
know,
cheeky cup.
And
hiding.
she said, "I've got the worst job in the family." I said, "You haven't. We're all good at our jobs."
Yeah.
You have to know how to make coffee. I'm telling you, I'm very particular when it comes to my flat white.
Yeah.
Yeah. You cock that up. If it's too much froth on there, I'm dashing it back at you. And they know this. Costa, shout me out, man. I
I'm
need a
same
sponsor.
with my mockers.
It's not coffee.
It.
Mm.
I want to ask Charlotte. What's Charlotte's thing about that? It is definitely a
Tyler
coffee.
just pokes his head out.
Here she comes. She's an expert.
Charlotte, here we go. We've got a microphone here. What is a mocha a coffee?
It's got coffee in it, yeah.
So yeah, it's a man's drink. 'Cause they keep telling me it's a woman's drink.
It's
I'm not.
base, so it's got espresso in it and then hot chocolate.
Yeah, but it's definitely a man's
It's
drink,
not a
right?
man's drink.
It's a man.
It's not a man's drink.
It is a man's drink.
It's a tall boy's drink. All right. It's a pretty boy's drink. All right. Yeah, it's a little kid. You know, you graduated. You just done your GCSEs. Now we give it to you. It's a big boy drink. Wink, wink. But yeah, no, it must be. So Charlotte, barista, Costa Coffee. You make incredible noises with fruit and veg.
Yeah.
You'd be wicked at the market, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
They come and get you 2-for-1s.
Oh yeah. I've done some voiceovers as well. Sometimes we have to do
Yeah?
the voice. Yeah. They ask
Must
us
be
to do voice.
amazing.
Yeah, that's quite funny. Or you do breathing, or like when I did Tarzan, I done the gorilla noise for Tarzan.
I want to hear that now, please, for the listeners.
Let's go.
Well, I had a bit of help from the fella sitting behind me with
Okay.
with his Pro Tools, who was mixing it as well. But as the gorilla's fighting Tarzan,
Yeah.
he said to me, "Just act like the gorilla, as if you're that gorilla. Just breathe and run about like the gorilla." So I was like,
Yeah.
"Okay." So I'm going, and as he's fighting him, I'm going,
Son of a bitch.
and it's like that blew your mic.
Yeah,
And,
I think it did. Blew something else.
and with him behind me putting his magic behind me
Mhm.
with his fingers, you played it back, and it sounds like a gorilla. You think, I've just done a gorilla as well. I've done his feet, I've done his fur moves. So I want all the fur moving
Don't
to make
need
him
Andy
sound
anymore.
big. And hey,
Don't need Andy anymore, do
No,
we?
no.
See you later, Andy. Go carry on directing. Cheerio, buddy.
then you put the voice over the top. Not often, or you do. I did, the lion, just purring
Yeah.
like a lion. And yeah, so we do everything. Any noise in the world.
I tell you what, if you were my uncle, yeah, and there was a little baby in the house, you'd be the best uncle in the world, like making all those noises, man. Kids must love you. I swear to God, must be the best ever. I mean, I think we pretty much covered
Yeah.
anything. Is there anything you want to say on the podcast?
No.
Anything that you can talk about that's coming out that you're allowed to say?
No, you
Before we wrap
can't.
up.
You
Trying to
can't.
squeeze some juice out, man. It's not
can't.
working.
What you should do one day,
Squeeze
we'll
the
keep
shit
in
out of the orange.
contact. What you should do is come out for a couple of hours and watch what we do.
Oh, 100%.
That'd be exciting.
Like that video I just showed you.
Yeah.
You come out with your own camera
Yeah,
and
100%.
your own bit of kit.
Oh, we're
Yeah.
in.
We can give you 2 hours of our time.
Yeah, I'd love it.
You can't really. Again, you can't see the screen,
No.
but you'll see me smash.
A bit
it.
like, like how you showed us the little video of you, like, right, mate, I'm just going to smash this watermelon over my knee. You're going to watch me do it. And I'm like, we can watch that. It'd be a nice little vlog as well, I reckon.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Be a good vlog.
And then we
Because
could,
once people see what you're doing as well, they might not understand a lot of it by talking. If they see,
Yeah.
like I say, if you show someone that, they go, "Ah," like my son,
Yeah.
he knows what I do. But watching it yesterday, he was like, that's actually quite professional. And I'm like, you cheeky bastard.
23
Yeah,
23 years of my life.
23 years of my life. It's the first time you call me professional.
Cheers, son. I wish I could ground you.
Yeah, okay. Can't drown a 20-year-old copper, can you?
Sit into the rest. Hold you in contempt. Yeah, no, it'd be that'd be great. I mean, we could sit down, record. Obviously, not talk about exactly what it is. Whatever you do, don't tell him. Don't say nothing. But I bet just blindfold him. Yeah, because
Stevie Wonder me.
he's the type of guy that will let it slip, and it makes my life even harder.
Yeah, because you
when I edit, and it's like, oh mate, you couldn't say that. But yeah, no, that'd be great. We could sit down and we could do a little vlog, and then we could do a little podcast at the end of it and talk about our little experience on.
Yeah, because you'll have to record this thing with me as well.
Yeah.
And he has a different concept.
Okay.
Because he's recording me, so he's doing his stuff outside.
Yeah.
He's using these mics. He's using these plugins. He's doing these, faders
Amazing.
here and there.
Amazing.
It's not just me. They're just as important because they're recording you. Otherwise,
We're all in this together. High School Musical.
Get
I
it
like
started.
you know, spud me on that one. Yes, yes. That's amazing. I think that's pretty much it. I mean, I'm
With
just
everything.
blown about this whole
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, I'm still blown by it. I mean,
I've been Bear,
I've been hate.
and you've been listening to Oxford's 0 to 100 podcast, Oxford's #1 podcast, and that's it. Thank you, Jason, for coming in. By the
No
way,
worries, boys. Enjoyed that.
maybe somewhere down the line we'll have another one coming up.
Yeah, man.
Have a meet up, definitely.
Yeah, different locations this time, I guess.
I'll be able to do, different locations.
Yeah, and that's it. We're out. We're done. Thank you.
Sweet.
Cross that line, I got gorillas on my side, no gunfight. On my life, I can't put it on my mama. My time can't take away my life. Talk up, but you don't want it when it's sunset.